Hello, my name is Paul Bowman and I am Professor of Cultural Studies here in the School of Journalism, Media and Culture at Cardiff University. I teach modules in film, media and cultural theory. I also teach sometimes modules on East meets West in film and popular culture, and sometimes a module called Body Image, which is interesting. And I've been asked to talk about my approach to research. So I research film and media, and I research the relationship between film and media and the body and lived bodily practices. So, for instance, one of my studies has been Bruce Lee. I've written lots about Bruce Lee. I've written lots about martial arts generally. So I have some pictures up in my office which kind of reflect some of my historical research interests. And I think that my approach to research is one which I want to emphasize is textual, based on texts and discourses. There are texts in the world. The whole world can be viewed as a text. My own relationship with myself can be viewed as textual. Texts make up discourses. Discourses are ways to describe the common senses and the issues and the approaches to issues in society. And I research the relationship between the media and the body and lived practices, so the way that someone like Bruce Lee influenced people's lives, for example, or the way that someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the film Pumping Iron changed people's lives and put the idea of bodybuilding onto the map and changed people's daily practices. I'm very interested in that kind of thing. For my research, I normally look at media texts and then look at the way that they change practices. So you might look, for example, at a film and look at, or a computer game, and then the way that that changes the kind of ways people represent themselves in, for example, what they put out on Instagram. There's someone at the door, so I'll get back to this. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. So research, yeah, I think that a lot of students think that to do research, that must mean you have to interview people or do a focus group or a survey or a questionnaire. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't. I have never interviewed anyone. I've never conducted a survey. I've never done a focus group. I have never converted textual material of any kind into numbers or graphs or pie charts or anything like that. I think that you don't have to do that. You do not have to ask people questions to do research. You can use an approach that I call using theory as a method. So using theory as a method is quite a dynamic kind of approach. Using theory as a method might involve, for instance, you're interested in a text, you're interested in a film or a social issue or whatever it is. What you do is you find the text, you look at the film, you look at the social media post, you look at the whatever it is, and then you ask, what would a different theorist make of this? What would Freud make of this? What would a Marxist approach make of this? What does this say about in terms of postmodern theory? What would Jacques Derrida make of this? What would Michel Foucault make of this? What would a semiotic analysis in the style of Roland Barthes see in this? So you can use theories as lenses to unlock meanings and significance from any kind of text. So you treat your issue as a text, you find a text that encapsulates the issue, and then you look at it from different angles through different lenses. You can also, so that's one approach, using theory as a method. You can also do comparative analyses. So let's say you're looking at gender representations in, I don't know, an action film. So you can look at gender representations in different or equivalent action films from different periods of time. So from the 80s, from the 90s, from the 2000s. You might look at a Hollywood film, compare it with a Bollywood film. You might look at, East Asian representations versus African representations versus Hollywood representations. These are forms of comparative analysis, all of which amount to research. So you can juxtapose that, you can line things up side by side, you can look at different genres, you can look at the way topics or issues are treated in different media. An Instagram genre style of post versus a news report on television. None of these research methods involve asking people things. None of them involve translating visual, oral, textual material into numbers or graphs. Don't need to do that. That's actually of no interest to me whatsoever. You can think about the ways in which certain representations, for example, representations of exercise or dance or physical appearance, has impacted on you. You can do an autoethnography. You can immerse yourself in a practice and reflect on that. You can reflect on the media representations of a practice, maybe something that you know all about, and you can reflect on it using different theoretical lenses. So these are just some research methods that I use, that I advocate, none of which involve interviews, focus groups, surveys, questionnaires, numbers. You can do textual and discourse analysis, and I recommend that. Give it a try.